Is Matt Prater on his way out of Detroit? Let's talk Lions. Welcome back. Thank you for liking, for commenting, and subscribing to this here Lions channel. For those of you who missed it, just so you know, in the future, as the Lions are out of the postseason, I will be starting to broaden my scope for the remainder of the 2020 year. And I'll be covering other teams, whether it's different matchups coming up in the postseason, different teams, different stuff like that, in order to just broaden the scope and have a little bit of fun, because the Lions are out of the playoff picture. And they have been for a little bit of time, but it's always good to believe. Like angels in the outfield. Matthew McConaughey was in that movie. Little known fact, and yes, he did not wear a shirt for a solid 7-second scene. Classic McConaughey. It's been a weird year watching Prater. Let's just face it, if there's anything that the Lions are good at, it's finding some local tavern with a gypsy in it, getting out their crystal ball and saying, show us who the next best kicker is, because we's gonna need him. And that's what we do. We always use some black magic and find a great kicker. Jason Hanson, I'm looking at you. Now Matt Prater. It has been something in Detroit that we all know and that we love. Our kickers are God mode out there. But something that we have to talk about is the statistical decline of Matt Prater and what's happening. Is there something wrong? Is he actually declining, or was it just a bad season for number 5? So let's break it down. So we have had Prater since 2014. We got Prater after Denver had him for 6, 7, 8 seasons. He was actually originally with Atlanta for 1 season. He goes to Denver. He plays there for several years. We pick up Prater in 2014. He only played 11 games in 2014. And it was, until this year, his worst statistical year, kicking that pigskin. So let's break down the percentage of each year starting in 2014. His field goal percentage was 80%. In 2015, he was at 91%. In 2016, Prater goes 86%. In 2017, Prater goes 85%. In 2018, he goes 87%. In 2019, he dips down to 84%, going 26 for 31. And this year, we've only played 14 games. We have got 2 left, but he is currently at a low of a 74%, having gone 20 for 27. So if you look at it statistically, you kind of see the fluctuation in the stats. Specifically, if you look at 2017 going into 2018, he rises up to that 87%, right, in 2018, and then he falls off and dips down in 2019, and then he really plummets this year. He has had a really rough year. When you look at Prater statistically since 2014, Prater has hit every field goal in that 20 to 29 yard range. In fact, he hit it even back in Denver. I'm pretty sure since 2012, he's hit everything in that 20 to 29. But looking strictly at the Lions and him as a Lion, he's hit every single one of those since 2014. Now let's look at the 30 to 39 yard mark. Looking at that, he's missed one here or there over the course of the years since 2014. Really, when you look at it from 20 to 39 yards, he's hitting almost all of them. But this year and last year, but this year specifically, looking at that 40-yard mark to the 49-yard mark, he has struggled tremendously. He is 4 for 7 in the 40 to 49, and if it's a 50-yard plus field goal, he's 5 for 9. Really struggling and missing almost 50% of those field goals from 40 yards or more, which is not normal Prater. It's not what I'm used to, and it's not what you're used to, and we know that. Normally, I can sit back and just watch and just know Prater's kicking it through. I'm not even worried about it. But this season has been a little alarming, a little jarring. This year, since 2014, this is his lowest scoring year at about 95 points. The only other time that he has scored less than 100 was 2014 when he played 11 games. So this year, he's only played 14. We still have 2 more to go, and he's sitting at that 95-point marker. I would love to see him hit 100 plus because I don't want to lose Prater. I'm hoping that it's not his decline and that we end up getting somebody else. Prater has been the most consistent person on the Detroit Lions since we've gotten him, unless you're counting Bryant and how long he's been injured for. That's consistent in a way. But when you look at Prater, Prater is the most consistent player on our team, and this year has been dicey. It's been a little bit of a jostle. So is there anything wrong with Prater? Has it just been a tough year? Has it been tough under the Matty P regime? It doesn't seem like there's anything other than a bad season to me. And it's really not even a bad season. It's just he's only hit 74% of his field goal attempts. That's just a bad season for Prater. And as a Lions fan, it's very confusing because we're used to godlike kickers. So with his field goal completion percentage decreasing since 2018, it is something that we all need to keep our eyes open to and our minds and our hearts ready for in case in the offseason something terrible happens and Prater is no longer wearing Honolulu blue. God, I don't want to see that. And if that's the case, please just retire, Prater. I never want to see you in another color. So I got to ask you, do you think he is declining overall in his performance, or was it just a bad season? And will we see Prater again next year? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you next time on Let's Talk Lions.